Hi Stencil Girl fans, it's Karen here, and I wanted to do something a little bit different for this project that I am working on this month with Stencil Girl and Canvas Corp products. So we got a whole pile of really fun stuff from Canvas Corp, loads of papers and fabrics and loads of different things that I'm really excited to use. But what really stood out to me and sparked my imagination was this blank journal. I think it's called a Naked Journal from 7 Gypsies. So it's a really simple journal. It's got really nice kind of thick cardstock, but I was really excited to kind of make an entire journal for this project rather than just a simple here's something I made and now you go make it maybe. I wanted to kind of show you something a little bit different that you can do with your stencils. So I'm keeping it really simple for this project. I'm only going to use one stencil, but I really want to play and explore the different ways that I can represent this stencil and how I can make different patterns from the one stencil. I can make it bigger, I can make it smaller. I'm really excited to try that out for this project. So I have my Naked Journal and I also got some really fun fabrics. So we have a canvas fringe here, so I'm really excited to use that. Some really lovely fabrics, some Hessian. Really excited, all these different colours, they're really lovely. And we also got a whole pile of papers from them. They were really generous in our packs, so I'm not sure what exactly I'm going to use for the journal, but I really like these. They're kind of nature themed quite a bit. This tissue paper is really lovely, so I'm definitely going to be using that. Maps, really nice kind of vintage style prints. Loads of different patterns and textures. Got some lovely tags here as well. And some cute little file folders, which I'm excited to maybe put in as like tip-ins or something into the journal. So there's those, and we've got some nice kind of craft card stock. So what I'm going to use for this is this stencil by Rae Missigman. It's the Wise Buds stencil. So I'm not sure, pick the best one that you can see it up against. So maybe hopefully you can see that a little bit there. So it's the Wise Bud stencil. So it's quite a small stencil, but I'm really excited to play with it. So I've already started playing a little bit, and what I'm going to do for this video is I'm going to show you kind of like a week in the making of the journal. So rather than kind of giving you specific how-tos, I'm going to show you what I'm doing, and I'll talk a little bit about what I've done already to start off with that, but I'll keep it going through the next week or so as I'm working on it. So you'll see me working on the stencil, you'll see me working in the journal in different stages, and then at the end we'll maybe have a bit of a flip through. So I've already taken the stencil and I have copied it through the photocopier. So what I did was I drew the stencil in biro because I was in work and I forgot my nice pen, so I was like, okay, I can either wait or I can just improvise. So I used a black biro and I traced around the outside of the stencil, and because I used the biro pen, I've got these lovely textured marks on the photocopy that I did. So I've enlarged this to pretty much as big as I can get it on the photocopier and work. So I've done it a few times, so I'm excited to play with this to make it kind of bigger, because it's almost like a completely different shape when it's bigger. So a few of those to play with, a few that were off center, a few that were larger. I ran a few through the same photocopy a few times, so I've got like a repetition stencil repeat pattern here. I really like that one. Kind of larger ones on top of smaller ones, playing with the different layers of shapes on there, so it creates a completely new shape again. Making my photocopier darker and lighter in the background, so kind of got a faded, muted kind of and really sharp image there, and then just the single outline as well, so I can play with that too. So I'm really excited to use these in my journal to create some really interesting backgrounds, all using the same stencil. And I've also carved the stencil into a stamp as well, so I've kind of taken out some of the finer lines because I wasn't going to get that there, so it's giving me a different shape as well. So I'm really excited to play with that. So I hope you enjoy the video. There won't be too much more of me talking, apart from maybe at the end when we'll do a little flip through and I'll show you what I did, but I'll put up some notes and some annotations as I go along, and you'll be able to follow along with me. So I hope you really enjoy it. See you at the end. Okay, so thanks a lot for watching all of my video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I just wanted to do a little flip through of the book at the end. So what I've done here is I've put the little shrink plastic charm on the top of the book here, and this is the Canvas Corp fringe as well. I've stenciled on top of that. I used one of the pieces of the photocopy paper and I jelly printed on top of it to give me the background for my book. I have to say my book got quite a bit of abuse on this, probably more than normal, so the spine did kind of crack a little bit down the seam here, so I'm quite glad that I put the extra piece of paper over the top of it to keep it together because it was kind of bursting at the seams. So I have my transfer with the packing tape here that you saw, and then I have the Hessian piece here, and I stamped on top of that with my stamp that I had made from the stencil. Then I have got the stencil mask here. I stenciled with white paint over the top here. I have my little tip-in that you saw here with the turquoise stone paints. And then I have another photocopy image that I cut out here. I really like the cutouts, they're one of my favourite ones there. And that leads on to the other cutout page that you saw me doing with the much larger photocopy of the stencil. I also stamped a little bit in the backgrounds here to add some extra interest. Then I've got more packing tape transfers here and more stamping here, and then you have the back of the cutout here. So each page, I like how you can see through all the different pages here. I think that looks really cool. Then we've got some of the canvas that was left over, the fringe, so I popped that in this page here. I have a little tip in here from the file folder which I stamped all over with the stamp that I had made. And I have got a full page here of image transfers, so I really like how the image transfer gate came out kind of perfectly imperfect, and it looks really cool with all of the different opacities on the photocopier here that I'd managed to get. Some of them are really clear and some of them are really faded, and I really like that. And I love how on the big one you can really see the biro marks here, even with the image transfer. I think it turned out really cool. And then we've got more tape transfer, no sorry, these were image transfers of the large one, so I cut it in half and did half and half on each page. And then I have got the little tag here with the tip in, and I took a few of the strands from the Hessian and I added them here to the top of the tag. And then we have got the back. So I hope that you enjoyed watching this video here of this little journal that I made. Very little stenciling in it, which I think is really good because it really shows you the versatility of your stencils and your designs once you get them in your hands. So I hope you enjoyed it, and thanks a lot for watching. Bye!